kind of detail the data that the First Alert Weather Team uses in their day-to-day forecasting.
Yeah, day to day, basically what we're doing is looking at forecast models. But for these forecast models to work, they have to have a lot of good information going into them. And that's what goes on across National Weather Service offices throughout the country. About 100 offices, as a matter of fact, put up these weather balloons. These balloons take in data from all levels of the atmosphere, feeds it into a computer, and then that's what generates these forecast models. So that's what we're doing, is looking at these forecast models to generate hopefully a good forecast for Siouxlanders, and that's kind of what could be impacted in the future.
Could the loss of the weather balloon data from National Weather Service offices in Omaha and some in South Dakota impact the data that you guys are receiving and the way that you do your forecasting?
The way I kind of try to think of it is, when I'm making a decision, I want as many factors put into it as possible. I want good data coming in so I can make a good decision. Forecast models are much the same way. Basically, they're trying to get as much data from the atmosphere to try to figure out what that atmosphere is going to do 1, 2, 3 days down the road. Well, all of a sudden, you're taking data away, so that's not a good thing. The more data you have, the better, the less, the harder of a time these forecast models are going to do to generate a good forecast. And that's probably the biggest concern, is just, is the forecast going to be affected by this? And there's a possibility of that, yeah.
Especially as we come into severe weather season and having that loss in places so close.
Yeah, in the past, places like Omaha and Rapid City, they would put up 2 weather balloons per day. All of a sudden, those 2 offices aren't doing any at all anymore. And then there are places like Aberdeen, South Dakota, North Platte, Nebraska, that are going down from 2 to 1. And all of a sudden, that's a lot less readings it's going to be coming into these forecast models. And that's the concern right there, especially the fact that so many of those are right there in the upper Midwest here, where we get severe weather during the summer. And so these are locations that are going to be impacted with less data, and all of a sudden that might start affecting how good the models are at predicting exactly when the storms might occur, where they're going to get going, and then how long they're going to last. So yeah, that's the concern. So
even with this loss of data, why should Siouxlanders continue to trust the First Alert Weather Team throughout the severe weather season and beyond?
Right. You know, here's the deal. Whether there's more data coming in, less data coming in, we're going to keep doing the job that we best can. We're going to continue to look at the forecast models. I've talked to National Weather Service officials down in Omaha, as a matter of fact, and they said we are going to be all hands-on during severe weather situations, and we're the same way. We're going to continue to do everything we can to keep Siouxlanders safe, put the best forecast out there, and we'll do the best that we can to keep everyone safe.